gonna have Kaylee speak. Let me know if you can hear her.
4th. May the 4th be with you. Planning Commission meeting. Can we start with the roll call?
Yes. Commissioner New,
Present.
Commissioner Chan,
Present.
Commissioner Quigg, Vice Chair Choi,
Present.
Chair Davis.
Here.
Thank you. All commissioners are present.
Thank you. If you're able, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. I think now would be a good time to introduce our new planning commissioner. Brad, do you want to do that?
Sure, yeah, it's my pleasure to announce Terrence News, our new planning commissioner, comes to us formally as a community enhancement committee member. So welcome. We know they have a background in landscape architecture. Would you like to just go ahead and say a few things about yourself?
Yeah, as Brad mentioned, I used to be on the Community Enhancement Committee, and I do have a background in landscape architecture. I currently work at a civil engineering firm doing work specifically in public spaces, stormwater management, and flood resilience. And yeah, interested in bringing that experience here, really have a focus on, wanting to create public spaces, walkability for people, and just, excited to see what comes of it with the Planning Commission.
Thank you, Terrence, very much. It's very nice to see a full commission.
Welcome.
So, yeah.
All right, thank you very much. Next up is agenda review. Does anybody have any?
Chair, can I mention
Yes, you have
the
something?
comments?
Oh, yes, please do that now.
Because our Zoom speaker is not working, coming in, if we asked any of the people on Zoom, if they do have questions, please send them to the planning team's email at planning@ci.millbrae.ca.us. If you need the email again, please raise your hand and we will give you the email again. Also, I wanted to mention, Chair, that in the minutes today, there was just one little slight correction on page 2, on the comments, on the comment section, and it's from the word track, T-R-A-C-K. We changed it to tract, T-R-A-C-T.
Thank you. Okay, agenda review. Any changes? We're good? Okay, excellent. As she mentioned, we do have one set of minutes from April 6th. We have one correction. Is there anything else?
Move approval of the minutes.
Okay, vote.
Thank you. Motion passes 401 with Commissioner New abstaining.
Thank you. Public communication, item number 3. This is the part of the agenda where the public can address the Planning Commission for a topic that is in our purview but not on tonight's agenda. Any hands raised or anyone give a speaker slip?
We have no speaker slips or hands raised on Zoom.
Okay. We will move on then to our number 4 public hearing, 170 La Prenda. It's a public hearing on a design review permit application to allow a 989 square foot addition on the first floor to an existing one-story residence, a conditional use permit for an existing non-conforming roof that encroaches into the required front and left side setbacks, and exception requests for non-conforming front and left side setbacks for the walls of the residence, and an existing non-conforming garage in the single-family residential zoning district. And you have a presentation for us.
Yes, thank you, Chair Davis. Good evening, Commission. I also would like to really quickly before we get into the presentation, make a note that there was a slight revision to the project scope. I'm obviously going to detail the scope of work in my presentation, but the addition has slightly increased, and then the setback exception request has moved from the left side of the residence, which is the west, to the right side of the residence, which is the east. And again, I'll cover all of that in my presentation. So this is a public hearing on a design review permit application to allow a 1,125 square foot first-story addition to an existing one-story residence, a conditional use permit to extend the existing non-conforming front and right side setbacks of the roof, and exception requests for existing non-conforming front and right side setbacks of the walls of the residence, and to maintain an existing non-conforming garage of substandard size in the single-family residential zone. Next slide, please. This project is located in the Millbrae Highlands neighborhood. And getting into some background information on the project, it's located within the R1 zone on a 6,192 square foot lot. The existing residence is 1,469 square feet, and the proposal includes 2 rear additions totaling roughly 1,125 square feet, a conditional use permit to allow a new roof line that extends the existing non-conforming front and right side setbacks without intensifying the degree of nonconformity, and exception requests to maintain several existing nonconformities, including the front and right side walls that do not meet the required setbacks, and the garage that does not meet the required dimensions. If approved, the existing home will undergo significant interior and exterior remodels. The proposed additions will be in the rear, and the front landscaping will also be updated. I'll touch on the updated landscaping design later in this presentation. The proposed home will maintain the single-story design, and with the gray areas shown here depicting the rear addition areas. The front yard landscaping and rear yard open space requirements will be met. Next slide, please. The proposed floor plan includes 3 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms, including 1 primary suite. There will be a kitchen, a living and dining area, a deck in the rear of the residence, and the existing attached garage. The proposed landscape plan includes the replacement of the existing gravel in the front yard to mulch, as well as additional plantings along the front of the yard and the front of the residence. It should be noted that the applicant originally presented a landscape plan that kept the existing gravel, but staff requested a more thoughtful landscape design as part of the completeness review. The applicant responded by proposing the mulch and additional plantings. Condition of approval number 16 also requires the review and approval of full landscaping and irrigation plans prior to the issuance of a building permit to ensure all landscaping requirements are met. This project is located within the Wildland Urban Interface Zone, as well as a very high fire hazard severity zone. Compliance with the applicable regulations under these designations will be confirmed at the time of building permit submittal through a condition of approval number 16 and 31, which I'll touch on more later. So here's the proposed front elevation. The residence will remain 1 story and will feature a gray stucco with a natural wood entry and garage door, charcoal colored wood trim around the windows, as well as charcoal colored fascia, stone veneer, and dark gray shingles on the roof. Here's the proposed left side elevation, the proposed right side elevation, the rear elevation, as well as the proposed 3D rendering from the front and the 3D rendering from the back. So a total of 8 adjacent owner consultation forms were sent out to the abutting properties. This slide shows a map of the neighbor response forms. It should be noted that 1 form was returned to the applicant by the post office after multiple failed attempts to deliver the form to the neighbor at 255 Alto Loma Street. The property owner, Fiona Lee, then hand-delivered the form to the neighbor but still didn't receive a response. Fiona shared that she had verbal conversations with her neighbor at 255 Alto Loma Street and doesn't anticipate any concerns from that neighbor regarding the project. This project is considered substantial improvement per Building Code Section 9.10.055 as the combined square footage of the interior remodeled areas and the additions is equal to more than 50% of the existing square footage of the residence. Since all substantial improvement projects are considered new construction, they require compliance with the applicable planning regulations. This project includes an application for a conditional use permit to account for the revised roof that extends but does not intensify the existing non-conforming front and right side setbacks, as well as exception requests for the existing non-conforming front and right side setbacks of the walls that will not be altered, and the existing nonconforming garage that does not meet the applicable size requirements. Millbrae Municipal Code requires single-family residences in the R1 zone to have a 20-foot ground floor front setback. The existing front setback is 17 feet 11 inches, where 20 feet is required. The required side setback in the R1 zone is 5 feet, and the existing right side setback is 4 feet and 1 inch. The proposed exterior remodel includes a new roof for the residence, which extends the existing nonconformities without intensifying the degree. A conditional use permit is thus required for the new roof. The Planning Commission must make the following findings to approve the conditional use permit per Millbrae Municipal Code, Section 10.05.2520, which staff is in supportive of. The proposed roof that extends the existing nonconforming setbacks is reasonable. The proposed roof is similar in form, mass, color, and height to other roofs seen on the street and in the surrounding neighborhood. Similar to the roof, the proposed project will maintain an existing nonconforming front setback of 17 feet 11 inches, where 20 feet is required by Millbrae Municipal Code. Since no changes are being made to the location or dimensions of the front wall, an exception is required to maintain this legal nonconformity. The proposed project will also maintain an existing nonconforming right side setback of 4 feet and 1 inch, where 5 feet is required by the Millbrae Municipal Code. Since no changes are being made to the location or dimensions of the right side wall, an exception is required to maintain this legal nonconformity. Millbrae Municipal Code, Section 10.05.2100, requires single-family dwellings to provide 2 garage parking spaces per unit. The required dimensions for a garage parking space is 10 feet in width and 20 feet in length. The existing nonconforming garage at 170 La Prenda measures roughly 16 feet and 6 inches in width and 19 feet 8 inches in length. The existing wash and dryer unit in the garage further reduces the usable parking area. Therefore, the garage does not meet the applicable parking requirements. The project does not propose any changes to the garage, and an exception is required to maintain its nonconforming size. The setback exception is reasonable due to the residence's similarity to other homes on the street and in the neighborhood, as well as a curved front property line that reduces the distance between the home and the required setback line. The garage exception is reasonable due to the similarities between the garage and other garages in the neighborhood, as well as its existing operation as a garage for the single-family residence. The Planning Commission must also make the following findings to approve the exception requests per Millbrae Municipal Code, Section 10.05.2530, which staff is supportive of. In order to approve the design review permit, the Planning Commission must make the following findings in Millbrae Municipal Code, Section 10.05.2500, which staff is in support of. Next slide, please. So before I get into staff's recommendations, I would like to add for the Commission that under condition of approval number 16, complete landscape and irrigation plans showing compliance with Millbrae's landscaping requirements will need to be submitted and reviewed prior to the issuance of a building permit. Additionally, we received some written questions earlier today regarding the wildlife-urban interface and very high fire hazard severity zones. In responding to those questions, staff revisited the conditions of approval and slightly revised the wording of condition number 31, which requires compliance with both the Wildlife Urban Interface Code and the Central County Fire Department's requirements for the very high fire hazard severity zone. And with that, staff recommends that the Planning Commission receive the presentation, review the project, consider the public testimony, and approve a design review permit application to allow a 1,125 square foot addition to the rear and an exterior remodel to an existing one-story residence, a conditional use permit application to extend the existing non-conforming front and right side setbacks of the roof, and exception requests for the existing non-conforming front and right side setbacks and an existing non-conforming garage in the single-family residential zoning district. Questions?
Thank you. Does anybody have any clarifying questions for her right now?
Do we have a material palette today?
Oh, yes. I have the material palette at my desk.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I have one more question, if that's okay. On the proposed it shows the rear 1/3 lot line. Could you explain the significance of that?
Yes, so the Millbrae Municipal Code requires 1,000 square feet of open space within the rear 1/3 of the lot. So that's the purpose of showing that on the plan. And
Thank
that
you.
requirement, thank you, yeah.
Appreciate that, thanks.
I had a few questions. First question is regarding grading on sheet 1A for the proposed concrete pad. It mentioned that all grading will essentially drain runoff to the public street and away from the neighboring houses. However, based on the existing finished grades and the elevation, the pad is lower than the public street. So I was wondering how the architect or the engineer planned on routing that water towards the street, since right now all that runoff, or whatever runoff is generated, would flow downstream to the downstream neighbor.
Thank you. I will have to defer to the applicant who's here for a presentation also to answer that question, as I am not of the expertise to fully answer that question.
Okay,
Thank you.
And then I also had a question regarding the wildland urban interface. So yeah, because this house is within a higher zone, I just wanted to see if the architect or the owners had any thoughts about incorporating some of those changes or thoughts about either landscaping or materials into their design. For example, I know there's not really a lot of guidance right now for those sort of defensible spaces. One of the recommendations, however, is to generally keep sort of a 0 to 5 foot buffer zone around the house just to make sure that there is no flammability. And so if there's a way for some of those proposed plants to be shifted a little bit just to provide a little safer buffer zone for the house. And then also if I also wondered what sort of plants they were proposing within that area, just to make sure that they are more fire resistant, that they won't, that they won't be a flammable hazard for the house.
Yes, thank you. So again, I'll defer to the applicant in terms of what planting specific types will be proposed, but condition of approval number 32, or 31, my apologies, outlines that the landscaping and irrigation plans will have to comply with the CCFD's very high fire hazard risk requirements, and so we will confirm those compliance. We'll confirm compliance with those regulations at the time of building permit, which includes plant type and defensible space regulations.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions right now? Kathy?
I had a quick question. I asked earlier, excuse me, I asked earlier, but I was just kind of wondering, it appeared to me from the street, when I drove down the street, that there is somewhat of a view looking out from the two additional spots that they're adding. And maybe I should defer that to the applicant also. Or,
Yes,
because you were not, I don't think you went there, did you?
I did go there for a site visit, and we received no concerns regarding the views from the neighbors. And in terms of the design, I believe you're referring to the placement of the bathroom closer to the rear yard than the bedroom in the proposed primary suite. We have no specific planning regulations regarding where you know the windows of the bathroom are and whatnot. So I will defer to the applicant for that.
Okay.
Thank you. No other questions? All right, does the applicant want to come up and?
Hi, Commissioner. My name is Richie from Alexander Architects. Thank you, Kaylee, for your presentation. I just want to add that I just want to respond to Terrence's question regarding the drainage design. So this is still at the planning phase, so we haven't gone into detail on the drainage design, but there would only be two ways to drain the water. It would be either to drain to the rear yard or if natural drain is not feasible, we will probably propose some pump to pump the water to La Prenda Street, La Prenda. So this will be something that we will detail in the building permit phase. And then Catherine, I think your question was regarding the view to
Just
the bay.
not
Not the big-
necessarily, just basically open space. And I know it's not up to us to decide it, and you're not doing anything wrong or anything like that, but just from my years of experience, and is that any windows are very important looking to the outside, and I think of the little window in that nice master suite is small. If that bathroom could be on another wall and allow more.
So you're referring to the view from the house, actually, not the neighbor's view?
No,
Oh,
just,
okay, I see.
I looked at it and I thought, oh my gosh, I don't know if they really thought of that because,
Yeah, we actually talked to the owner, and the owner doesn't want the windows looking to the back because they actually see the rear neighbor's yard. And when we outreach to the rear neighbor actually,
Okay.
we had a discussion with them, and they were happy with the bedroom not looking directly to
Okay.
their yard. And
That's
we're
fine.
creating a deck, so the owner actually wants to direct the view to the yard. You know,
perfect.
their own courtyard, rather
Yeah.
than the rear neighbor.
Yeah, and I wasn't quite sure
No
if I
problem.
was there and I saw it, it would be different also, just from thinking about it, but that's
Than
fine.
the owner's preference. All right, thank you. Is there any other question?
Anyone?
No, just one thing, I'm glad you put the skylights in. Notice, I'm a light person, I like light in every room, so.
On the landscaping, are the shrubs in front of the house going to stay? Or
We're
are you
gonna
doing
propose new
different-
landscape throughout. There's no landscaping retained.
In the front?
Yeah, everything is new.
Oh, the street view still had hedges in the front, they're not there?
We only keeping the tree, and then everything else is new. Yeah, even the shrub in the front is going to be replaced.
Is what, sorry?
All the landscape is going to be new, except for the
okay.
street tree in the front.
Okay, oh,
Yeah,
cool,
that's it.
okay, good.
So wanted to confirm for the landscaping, it'll be, what's proposed is shrubs adjacent to the house and then adjacent to sort of the frontage near the street, correct?
Well, I know what you're trying to get to. So we just learned that it's actually in a WUI zone. So I think when we get to building phase, we will likely have a more elaborate landscape design, taking into consideration the WUI. Because when we did this plan, we try to keep it simple, and we weren't aware that we're actually in that WUI zone. So when we get to the building phase, we'll look at the requirement. I know there's certain requirement, like, when it's closest to the house, we can't put like vegetation and stuff. We will take into consideration when we do the landscape design in the next step.
Through the chair.
Yes,
So also staff, we're very aware of the fire-resistant planning types that are denoted in the CCFD's checklist and guidelines. So when we're working with the applicant on their final landscape plan, we'll be looking to those as guidance as well.
all right, anything else for him?
Can you,
All right, thank you.
okay.
All right, then now would be the time for
Sometimes.
public communications. For anyone who would like to comment on this project, any speaker slips or hands raised?
No speaker slips or hands raised.
Okay, can I have a motion to close the public comment portion?
I'll move to close public comment.
You,
Seconded.
thank you. Your votes?
Thank you. Motion passes 5-0. Public comment is now closed.
It probably didn't. There. There. Okay, cool. All right, now moving on to discussion. Who would like to kick off? Nathan?
Yeah, I think the project proposed looks good, and I'm satisfied that staff and the applicant will work together to figure out how to meet to mitigate the fire risk in this area. So I'm inclined to support the staff resolution.
Kathy?
I'll go ahead and second that.
Was that an actual motion? I think it was,
I guess I could move, yeah.
I think he was just making a general comment, but
Sure. I'll move that we approve the design review permit with a conditional use permit to extend the existing non-conforming front and left. It's left now, right? Oh, okay. This is up. Okay, and right east side setbacks of the roof, an exception request for the existing non-conforming front side setback. Yeah, an exception request for the non-conforming front setback, the existing east side setback, and the existing non-conforming garage at 170 La Prenda in the single-family residential R1 zoning district. I'll make that motion.
yes, just, but wait, go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
So,
Yes.
you can make your second now if you want, then I'm gonna still let people make a comment.
Okay.
So, do you want to do your second?
No, I'll wait.
Okay, then go ahead, you're next.
I think it's a fine design. It's a very efficient layout, and you're making really good use of the space available. The one concern I have about the design is the natural wood garage door. Way too often I see in the neighborhood that over time, and it doesn't take a long time for it to get washed out, especially since it's facing southwest. So I would urge you to look at the material and see how you could maintain it, because it will require a lot of maintenance to keep it looking decent. Thank you.
Any other comments? Nope, okay,
My turn? I'll second the motion.
thank you. And your votes?
Thank you. Motion passes 5-0.
Congratulations, and the action of the Planning Commission is considered final, pending a 10-day appeal period and the payment of a required appeal fee. For anyone that wishes to appeal the decision of the Planning Commission, please contact the city clerk at 650-259-2414 or etran@ci.millbrae.ca.us with appeal process questions, or visit the City of Millbrae's website at ci.millbrae.ca.us. Thank you. New business? We have none. Staff updates?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. So one thing I did want to call the commission's attention to is something that we talked about very briefly at the last meeting, is the project to consider objective planning standards. So that project, which was started previous to my employment, is back on track. So we are looking to come forward with another community meeting, probably within the next couple months. The idea and the timeline of that project now is that it would be completed by the end of the year. So we'd be looking to do another community open house to look at the draft standards. There would be a study session before the Planning Commission, likely in the early fall, and then leading up to the City Council. So just as a refresher, what we're looking at are very standardized, objective design standards. So when we're looking at remodels, additions to homes, new windows, changes in materiality, we have very clear objective standards that can be, that applicants are able to read clearly from our zoning code and have that expectation up front of how to do design. So that would be sort of on the standards front. Along with that, we're also preparing what we're calling concept books. And these concept books would help applicants as they're envisioning brand new construction, right? So to look at styles throughout the city, to look at materials, to look at form, massing, and to really express good architectural design. So we're really hoping that these documents will be very helpful as we consider new projects moving forward. And again, so like I said, we're hoping to have that before the Planning Commission here in the early fall for your consideration of these draft standards. Now that may take a couple meetings, but we're definitely looking to have this project wrapped up by the end of the year. The other is, I think we didn't quite officially introduce Kaylee Cho, who is our assistant planner here, you just heard from. So she's been with the city now just a little over 3 months, and we've been pleased to have her on staff.
Welcome.
Also, recently, everybody is aware of the Trammell Crow project at 959 Meadow Glen.
959 El Camino.
Real. It's 1 Meadow Glen.
1 Meadow Glen.
959 El Camino Real. We went out to the site recently as planning staff to do a preliminary inspection on sort of the look and form of the building. As you may know, that they built sort of a mock-up of what the building would look like on the corner. So we were able to go out and look at the finish, look at the windows, look at the materiality, look at downspouts, the painting, the texture of the stucco, and really get an idea of how that final building should look. Look at the and also look at the tiling for the roof. So we did that as a team. That was a nice event. So we're all very keenly aware that we're trying to achieve high quality architecture here within the city. And so that was something that we did recently, and that project continues to progress, and as you can see is really, really coming along.
Are you able to or willing to share the your observation from, or your sentiments from your observation from of the mock-up?
Yeah, certainly. Yeah. So they're definitely building things per plan. So that was a delight to us. What we did say though is it's a pretty large building.
Oh, yeah.
And so we indicated that what we'd like to do is come out periodically as they start to wrap the building and finish it. There's a lot of site work that we'll need to look at. There's a small plaza on the corner that we're going to need to come and look at. So we're not there yet, but it's coming along, and it's an exciting project, bringing forward much needed housing to the community. And I think that's it for updates.
It's not as large as the El Rancho. I think the El Rancho is going to be a lot larger,
Yeah, there's more units in that.
but there's more space too. This one is.
That's it? Okay, then what about planning commissioner announcements? Anybody?
What happened to the person that was on Zoom?
Oh, there was no one on Zoom.
Oh, I thought you had.
Yeah, there was, but then they didn't raise their hand.
Some people just might want to listen. They may not have a comment. Well, I'll just remind everybody that this coming Saturday, the Millbrae Arts Commission
Oh, yeah.
is having their annual art show at the rec center from 10 to 3. The event was fabulous last year. I don't expect anything less this year. So get out there and support our creatives in this community this weekend. Anybody else? Anything? All right, then we're done. Thank you.